All right, guys, it's time for another video, this time on the presidency of William Jefferson Clinton. Please watch for clues in the video to answer the video quiz questions and complete the additional worksheet called Politics in the 90s. So you'll have two sheets, as you often have had in the past, to complete that came with this video. As president, Bill Clinton enjoyed great popularity, ultimately serving 2 terms. His most ambitious goals included reforms in healthcare and welfare reform, and one of his most celebrated accomplishments was NAFTA, or the North American Free Trade Agreement. On September 22, 1993, Clinton made a major speech to Congress regarding a healthcare reform plan that he hoped would provide health coverage for every American. The plan was developed by a task force led by Bill Clinton's wife and the First Lady, Hillary, and was well supported among Clinton's own party, the Democrats. Unfortunately, it was heavily and aggressively opposed by Republicans for a few reasons. First of all, the plan would require every American to have health insurance, whether they wanted it or not, and every employer with 5,000 or more workers to provide it. Further, the cost would require the government to raise taxes significantly. Republicans generally oppose the government providing health care for everyone for these reasons, as well as the concern that we would not have enough healthcare workers to handle an overwhelming number of health conditions that can easily be treated at home and still be able to prioritize more urgent health needs. The Clintons were not able to rally enough support to get this plan through Congress. While healthcare reform did not happen for Bill Clinton, there were some accomplishments during his first term that helped him maintain a moderate level of popularity in the Congress as well as among voters. The first of which was the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA. This was a treaty between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico that reduced or eliminated tariffs on certain products, made it easier for U.S. truckers to get access to the Mexican or through the Mexican border, and improved opportunities for American businesses to get contracts with the Mexican and Canadian governments. Some who opposed NAFTA were afraid that it would encourage U.S. businesses to move to Mexico for cheaper labor, and others were concerned about a rule in the treaty that would allow environmental groups and ordinary citizens to accuse member nations of failing to enforce their own environmental laws. In spite of the opposition, however, NAFTA was signed by all 3 nations and became effective January 1, 1994. Another success for the Clinton presidency was welfare reform. In August of 1996, President Clinton signed a new law that granted states more freedom to manage their own social welfare programs. The plan included a 5-year lifetime limit on benefits to welfare recipients and a work requirement for those who were able. As a result of this act, the number of individuals receiving federal welfare dramatically declined. Perhaps the most significant reason welfare reform was achieved in 1996 was due to the very difficult but productive negotiations that took place between President Clinton and the Republican-controlled Congress over the course of his first 4 years as president. The accomplishments of his first term as president helped Bill Clinton win re-election in 1996, but his second term was not as successful due to a scandal that diverted the nation's attention and damaged the president's popularity among voters. In 1998, allegations were brought that Clinton had lied in court to cover up something he didn't want people to know about. Lying in court is a very serious offense called perjury. The House of Representatives voted to impeach Clinton, which means the Senate would act as a court and decide if he was guilty of the accusations. The Senate did vote and found him not guilty. President Clinton was allowed to stay in office, but he made history as only the second president to be impeached. The first was Andrew Johnson in 1868. Johnson's impeachment was also unsuccessful. And if you remember, we also spoke about Nixon and how he most likely would have been impeached if he had not resigned before the House was able to complete the procedure to begin the impeachment process. Now that's it for this video. Please make sure that you have completed the video quiz. If you need to go back through the video to get answers, feel free to do that. And there's also a worksheet called Politics in the 90s that you'll need to complete as well.